This game got a DLC, the name of which will be in the title. May take a couple parts to do this. I'll put the videos I did with the base game in the description, along with some videos related to this game, as well as a certain other game series of the same genre, like milk outside of a bag of milk outside of a bag of milk outside of a bag of milk. So those will be in the description, and if I remember, I'll even copy and paste them into a comment down below. To make it a little easier, heck, I'll use this to be a playlist where I'll try to go back to finish up some games I've kind of left hanging, including Chapter 2 of Higurashi. I still do plan to play all of the Higurashi games. And whenever Union Rhythm Psychosis comes out, I will play that, provided my computer can handle it. Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator, actively alienating everyone, and both the analog and digital world. Well, welcome, good evening, wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8. And I don't know where I'm supposed to go in order to use the DLC. Unlock the DLC by finding a way out in the Explore mode. Okay. Explore the house, finding new clues about the game's lore. Didn't I already do this? It's been a long time since I've played this. I'm back home. Today, it was a wonderful day, but sometimes I still think about what happened. From now on, you can explore the house freely, find out more about the game's lore. So I have to do this lore exploration in order to actually unlock the DLC. That's fine. What you're asking me to do is something I think I'm actually going to enjoy. So, it's my bed. It's tidy. I'm good. I don't need to sleep. It's my bed. I noticed there was a bunch of new achievements available. For now, I'm gonna hold back on reading that in case it might give some spoilers. Oh, but that's the... This is my anatomy book. I passed the exam with the highest grade, so I just have to put it in its place. These are images of the human body. I think I will never take them off. They help me with the revision. All my study books are on this shelf, but also anime and manga about the human body. They help me learn while having fun. I can see the park from here. There is a lot of nature. There are also children playing. Here I met that guy for the second time. Although I was suffering, he never stopped smiling. Maybe he did it to cheer me up, to give me hope. Yes, that's right. He wanted me to be happy. He helped me, and I thank him for that. I need to sort out these clothes today. Here are just my clothes. But wait. The bottom seems to be movable. If I try to touch it again, pretty sure I've already done this. It moves. Hi, game devs. Oops. Sorry. Here are my favorite clothes. I'm going out to dinner tonight. What should I wear? It's a wonderful day. How now I can calmly admire this painting. This photo puts me in a good mood. I left my keys here. I just got home. I don't need to go out. It's my umbrella. Luckily, I don't need it today. There's nobody outside now. A lot of weird things used to happen to me. This house never had a trapdoor, but on that day my eyes saw it. My mind recalled it. That trapdoor never existed, and yet it was right up there, like a memento, the boundary between me and my problems. This house had become a limbo, where I fought against an invisible enemy, going up into that attic, moving up, getting up. I defeated that great weight I was carrying inside for a long, long time. I managed to overcome my problems, and now I'm ready to face my future. What? Calendar pages. How strange. I cleaned here up recently. This is my favorite plant. Every time I look at it, I feel peace and serenity. I think that this painting is perfect here. I greeted my neighbors earlier. They're good people. I can see the neighborhood from here. The sky is clear, without any clouds. Sometimes I close my eyes and hear the water flowing, the sweet sound of the city's river. Here, I have everything I need for cooking. I keep my favorite plates and cutlery here. I always keep it tidy. This sink is in order. I'm here today thanks to this sink. I washed these rags this morning. The dishes are in order. I like its scent. I use it often. There are calendar pages, sheets here in the kitchen. There are some pens and notebooks here. Sometimes I also use this table for working. The calendar, I met that guy thanks to it. At first I thought he had bad intentions, but he was right. I didn't understand at that moment. I was still confused, burdened by my problems. But in the end I realized it. I am him. He is me. He's the voice of my consciousness. It would be nice to meet him again, because I want to thank him in person. But maybe he's guiding me even now. After all, he's a part of myself. It's a game about a Zonbok toe. There are some pens and notebooks here. Has anyone ever watched the anime, The Saga of Tanya the Evil? By the way, Mayuri Kurochiki, well, before I get to that, I still say Ted Bear from Cyanide and Happiness and Aizen have the same sounding voice and the same personality. Then again, Kermit the Frog and Vegeta are the same person as well. After all, there's those memes of Kermit sitting in the bathtub with the water running and Vegeta standing on a cliff in the rain. Tell me that's not the same picture. But in the same way I say Mayuri Kurochiki. And Goku are the same. Mayuri gave a little speech about perfection to Zale, Apollon. If you haven't heard it before, I suggest listening to it. Perhaps I'll include it in this. The reason why I compare Mayuri to Goku is Mayuri mentions that, well, it's a fascination to always improve. He admits that he would be quite displeased if things were perfect, because it would mean there would be no room to grow, nothing new to learn, no new innovation, nothing to strive for. Goku is the same. Jiren condescendingly condemned Goku as a failure, because Goku was ever striving to have new goals, to have new interests, to keep trying to find a way to push. Jiren criticizes I for not being perfect. Go back and watch the anime. Goku is very clear to Jiren that that he feels the exact same way as Mayuri Krochki. He gives a slightly differently worded paraphrasing of Mayuri Krochki's speech. So yes, Mayuri Krochki and Goku in that regard have the same outlook on life. If we were made a comparison with Zanpakuto, Hollow Ichigo is the Zanpakuto for Ichigo. In terms of personality, I would say the other character in this game that is also us. Thinking back on what I remember of him, he kind of reminds me of Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop. A very good anime. Then again, another really good anime is Outlaw Star with Gene Starwind. There are some pens and notebooks here. Sometimes I also use this table for working. Neat. I can see the city from here. At sunset, it's even more beautiful. Here's my bathroom. Sometimes I remember what happened. Best not to think about it now. I got over it all. Kind of reminds me of a song I karaoke'd. I used a picture of Goku for the thumbnail. It's a good song. There's lots of good music. I listen to a lot of variety of music. I read a lot of variety in stories. Play a lot of variety in games. I know I said I sing karaoke, but I'm not any good at it. But even though I'm bad at it, I enjoy singing. That's one thing I try to encourage to everyone out there. It's important to express yourself, as long as you're not hurting yourself or anyone else. It's good to express yourself, and I do advocate very strongly for people out there to do things like singing karaoke, even by yourself in your home, learning a new language, working out at the gym, getting proper sleep, trying to be sociable. learning a new skill, trying to draw, learning a new language, learning an instrument. And even if you're not doing the greatest at it, don't worry about, I know this doesn't mean much coming from me since I'm a complete fucking failure. I am no one. I am nothing. I am nobody. And everyone would consider me a defective failure of a human being and worthless. So take what I say with a grain of salt. But you don't have to measure your life in how productive you are, how much money you're making, or how much measurable progress you've made. Though I will say this, usually the better way to improve yourself, instead of focusing on trying to immediately push yourself to your goal, just try to improve 1% every day. And over time that will add up. And yes, you will have setbacks, you may have bad days, both in terms of goals or even just your own physical or mental or psychological well-being. Some days you'll have very bad days, sometimes several of them in a row. But you'll be fine and you'll get through it. And above all, the most important thing you're doing is just getting through the day. Because like I said, you don't need to measure your life and how productive you are, or if you've got a list of arbitrary tasks you've accomplished. At the end of the day, if you're doing something you enjoy, if you're taking care of yourself, if you're even just getting through the day, even if you're spending some downtime just sipping some tea and just relaxing, even if you're just spending that time with people you care about, that time has meaning to you. So don't let anyone discount, or I'm not sure what the correct word to use there is, but don't let anyone decide that the hobbies or interests you enjoy, if you want to spend time learning how to draw something, then don't let anyone make you feel bad for it, saying that that's more time you could have spent at work making more money. Your life isn't about, granted you do have to work to get by, to pay rent, to contribute to society, but that's not all your life is. You don't live to work. You work to support your life, to be able to do whatever it is and pursue whatever it is that you find meaning in, whatever it is that makes your life better. And yes, it is important to have discipline and put hard work in if you ever want to accomplish any goal. But even if you spend a day not being productive and just doing what you enjoy, or spending it with people you love, that's not a waste. And that's still a precious use of your time. No matter what, you have to decide what your priorities are, but your life isn't about just being a machine, working and working all the time. And I know it's harder for a lot of people to be sociable nowadays. But Whether it's that or being productive, don't be so hard on yourself. And if in the course of your life, especially when you were younger, if anyone said anything bad to you, you didn't deserve that. You can let that go. I imagine this must sound very insufferable to anyone listening to this. I would say I probably sound like a right asshole. Then again, I am. I am a terrible, awful person. But I'm not going to apologize for being myself. And I don't mean like in the regard of I'm some sort of rude person or anything, because some people will say, oh, I'm just being myself as an excuse to gloss over them being an asshole in regards to politeness. It's more so, I know I'm being insufferable talking about this to people, but I just feel like talking about this. After all, it's not like I would talk like this with other people IRL. Then again, that would require social interaction to begin with. But like I said, I think everyone's a bit more isolated nowadays. Heck, if I had to describe myself in any way, I'm a person who's no threat to anyone and just a boring guy who just lives peacefully and works and plays some video games and eats some pizzas. Pepsi's also good. I don't encourage anyone out there to do anything violent to anybody. Just to let people know that if you are someone out there who feels like every day is the same monotonous work of just trying to survive, feeling like there's no hope and a general sense of dread hanging over you. If any of you out there simply feel like you're either invisible or looked at with disgust or seen as a failure or not enough because you don't measure up to standards society puts on you, that you grew up seeing all these things in TV and told that you can be in and are expected to be all these great things, like a fucking rock star or someone important or like a doctor or a rocket scientist or a CEO or some bullshit, as everything's glamorized, where you're constantly made to be aware that even being slightly above mediocrity is still seen as being a failure and unwanted. A society that constantly judges you and only sees you for utilitarian value, how they can use you up, and the moment you can't work anymore or anything, well, you're replaceable and disposable, and you were never wanted in the first place. Heck, a society that seems to hate you, and it actually has no remorse when your bones burn down to ash, when your muscles break down, when you fail to continue to be a fucking workhorse. Not only does it have no remorse, but it actually delights in your falling from grace and loss of dignity. For you, something that's the end of the world, to them, isn't even worth taking notice of. To all of you, I have to say, you're not alone. And I'm saying, you're not alone, and you're too hard on yourself. And don't worry about what any of them have to say. You are enough, and you deserve to be you. You, who you are, you're valid. And grantedly, I know me saying this isn't going to create it into reality or some other stupid bullshit like that, but just know that you are enough, and you do deserve to actually be loved and cared about, and not the fucking petty, oh, I deserve this, I deserve that, like some fucking arrogant brat. But more so, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to feel like every mistake or every shortcoming invalidates your worth as a person. Heck, you don't have to be so anxious about the world retaliating at you, or betraying or abandoning or forsaking you over the agonizing of every tiny little detail. A world that seems to scream at everybody that, doomed are the meek, the mourning, and the merciful. But there's nothing wrong with those traits. I am all three, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying for anyone out there to be soft or to be a doormat, but I am saying if you do have kindness and gentleness in you, don't let this world take that from you. Don't let it change you into something you don't want to be. You choose who you are and decisions you make. Every choice is your own. You choose what you do. But don't let your motivations be driven by this world. Take some time to think. Heck, in general, I think it's good for people to go on bike trails and go for walks. Take some time to think and decide what really matters to you. What do you want? What makes you happy? And just try to live your life to the fullest, to the way you see as fullest. And if you do have loved ones, never once take them for granted, and do everything you can to be there for them. And if not, well, everything will be okay. I'll say this, I don't remember what a hug feels like. Don't know how many of you feel the same. But as one failure to, I assume, people out there who are not as much of a failure as I am, you'll be okay. And you matter, and you do deserve love. Not because you're demanding it as something just be given to you, but because and again, I can't really give a blanket statement there. I really don't know anything about any of the people who would be listening to this. You could be somebody who doesn't deserve love, but I'm at least trying to go speaking to people I feel who might feel relatable with me. That you're being too hard on yourself. And just because all your hard work has fallen apart, just because you've been told over and over again that you don't deserve to be cared about, doesn't mean it's true. I can't tell any of you how to think or feel. But if I'm at least treating it as if I'm talking to myself, you do deserve to be cared about. But at the end of the day, maybe you will and maybe you won't. But regardless if you do or you don't find anyone with that, there's still plenty of stuff to do in life that's quite enjoyable and interest to have, and it's always important to keep working to improve yourself, but also taking the time to actually enjoy your life while you're living it. You shouldn't be lazy, and you do need discipline, but you can't live a life where you're constantly grinding to where you don't even take a moment to really appreciate your life. Everything's about balance. I suppose I really can't be somebody to really tell you what balance is. Heck, when it comes to sharing neat little videos, I come across and I'm like, hey guys, look at this. This looks cool. I want your opinion on this cool video. Whether it's sharing in playlists or in my community posts, I definitely don't seem to know the meaning of the word excessive. I'm going to try really, really hard to avoid doing all of that stuff anymore in terms of posting sharing so many videos like that. I'll keep the ones I've shared up already, but it's just, if nothing else, I've given a lot of neat, interesting little things for you to check out. But that's the main thing. I don't encourage anyone to do anything harmful to themselves or anyone else. In fact, as self-centered as it is of me to say, I hope that this video helps whoever would listen to it to know that you're not alone and that you do deserve love and to be cared about, that you're enough as you are. You don't need to reach some milestone or achieve some great task or overcome some adversity to prove that you deserve to exist, that you deserve basic affection and respect, that you deserve to be treated with kindness. Now, yes, you can't go to it. You can't. But I guess the main thing I'm just trying to say to everyone is, if you're sad, it'll get better, even if it doesn't seem like it will. I just want any of you listening to this to never give up and to be kind to yourselves and to be kind to others, to keep the love and gentleness and kindness in your hearts alive. Be strong, be competent, and put in hard work. But treasure every moment you have. And don't feel like you have to achieve some freaking heroic task like out of an RPG in order to somehow win as a prize someone caring about you or thinking that you're special to them. Though I listen to a lot of music, sometimes it feels like the music listens to you. I do feel that somewhere along the line, something inside me became broken. I could probably point to 100 different little things, or maybe it's just aging. Sometimes it feels a bit isolating, like it's a lonely life. Where not even your own echoes can reach you. And even when you search out those echoes and go out and search for them and find them yourself, you don't recognize what you find. Then again, I think I used it as a title for the previous video I posted, part 1 of the Siren's Call game. There is no sin in feeling lost. There is no sin in feeling lost. Heck, Spike Spiegel actually has an interesting philosophy on things, though maybe that could be seen as a very unhealthy outlook on life. Sorry if I was being very pretentious. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, does anyone else feel that somewhere along the line, something inside you became broken? Like, I feel like my emotions don't work the same way they did when I was younger. I don't know. I would say, while I've made a joke about saying I apologize for nothing, I apologize for being so annoying. I've said it before, I'm a bit of a tsundere, but I do appreciate if there are viewers, whether it's the comedy videos I make or whatever the cringe, cursed bullshit I'm doing now is. Either way, I appreciate that you're here. Thank you for being patient and interested enough to actually listen to what I had to say. I really do need to stop going on tangents like this. I had to check the time a little bit ago. I think I might go somewhere. I don't think we're even going to get to play the DLC today. We'll get around to it though. Let's head into the bathroom. These are my favorite towels. This afternoon I could take a shower. This is a special place for me. When I need to relax, I always take a bath. I have always loved this shower. But since that day, even more, I began to understand what was going on. I was very tired of studying, of everything. I just had to stop for a moment and think. I was able to make a decision, avoiding falling into the abyss of my soul. I don't need these towels now. They are very useful for keeping the bathroom tidy. Here is my toothbrush, toothpaste. I don't need to wash my hands now. I'm at peace. I don't need anything else. I was afraid to see myself in the mirror. I couldn't accept the fact that I was very tired. Come to think of it, I had a horrible face, but now I'm feeling relieved. I'm happy. It wouldn't be bad to stay here just a little longer. But after all this, I need to keep in mind that reality is still out there. And I need to face it one day. Maybe that day is today? Yes, I think so. I am ready. After the events of the ceiling, things went better. But as we all know, life reserves us challenges where we never look. Today, I have one of the last exams of my course. I still have challenges to overcome. Let's get the strength from my past experience. I should head to my university now. Well, we've unlocked the DLC. I suppose we'll have to come back to that. I hope everyone out there is getting all the hugs and head pats you could ever need. And everything will be okay.